it's an interesting thought experiment just in how much more important this job, this top baseball operations job for every single team is. And we've seen it firsthand here in New York that this is a hire the Mets have to get right. They can't get it wrong. And if you could get a guy like David Stearns, who has been there, has had success already, is young, could conceivably be the front office face of this franchise for the next, I don't know, 20, 30 years, you would be willing to give up quite a bit. And I understand what Francisco Alvarez is. I understand how good he could potentially be. Franchise catchers don't grow on trees, but he's also a prospect who has never played a game above A ball. You don't quite know what you have there. And the way I look at it is, if you go back 20 years, would you rather have Theo Epstein or Yadier Molina? Both great, both won titles. Theo Epstein really changed the course of history in Boston and in Chicago. That's how important these jobs are, and that's why I would strongly consider it.
We've seen it's not easy to get that guy that's going to, run a franchise and put a team in place to win championships. But I'm not giving up the catcher. I'd be willing to give up a prospect, maybe even a top prospect. You're talking about a power-hitting catcher, and those guys are awfully hard to find. So I can't do that. Maybe, if you're talking about somebody like maybe a Vientos at third base, maybe I'd be willing to do that because you can find third baseman, even outfielders, whatever. Power-hitting catcher, and I know, I'm playing to the judge here. I'm playing a Rex
That's a good
position,
point.
so I can't go there.
You're sitting next to a power-hitting catcher. I do understand Anthony DiComo's point. I think the most important thing the Mets do this offseason will be to hire a president of baseball operations, because that person is going to make all the decisions about what the team looks like next year. Rec, you've heard both sides of the argument. Which side do you eventually come down on?
Well, I think what got me, I was... Everything you were saying, Ant, I was with you. I really was. I really think, as Doug said, it's a huge hire for this organization. That person could be here for a very long time, and they could help out and get this organization in a great place and all those things. But when you compared him to Yadi Molina, which would you rather have? You lost me, because that man out there on the field has gotten the Cardinals to the playoffs time and time again. In a year like this year, he almost seemed to will them and get them there himself, not necessarily with his play on the field, but his leadership, the things he brings, and the way he's able to attack opposing lineups with his pitching staff. There is so many things that go into being a catcher specifically. And look, we don't know what kind of catcher Francisco Alvarez is going to be yet. Is he going to be a great, offensive and defensive catcher who can throw, who frames well, who blocks everything? We have no idea. We don't know that yet. But the thing is, the potential is there.